All right, so let's take a look at Monday. Monday. Now this is gold, and gold. Let's take a look. It's a new month. All right. We had an indecision month, as you can see. Will we retrace down? Now today is a swing day, so we've got a breakout on the price. Nothing hefty here. 58 is 3,209. 3,209 is there. All right. That's one zone. The other thing is, let's make this a little tighter. Okay, so Friday was a swing day. Friday high or Friday high or Friday low. So Friday was an inside day. All right, here as you can see. So we had a Monday coming into Friday. Fair enough. Monday's a swing day. Now this can go both ways, but we got a PST breakout here. So I'm thinking to myself, if we go up, we've got room to go up all the way into there. And that will take us into 3,369, 3,384 if it goes up. All right, it's done it before. Well, all right, it's done close to it before. Okay. And this is how it is. So if I take a look, we should still, we should still have room to come back into 3,200 is a possibility because of, just bear with me, there. All right. Actually, if I turn that into a 1 hour chart, make it one tick bigger. We don't want to do anything wrong here. Okay, so 3,209. One little ship bigger. Let's do that, causing the breakout. Have they closed the gap? Yes. Pretty much closed the gap there. There, so we'll use this as a zone. Okay. That's the cause. Okay, and I'm just going to put that there. All right, it just needs to be above 3,209 there. Okay, and there we are, right? So that's the PST. Okay, so if we do have a pullback into this zone during trade hours, I don't mind going long with this. Okay, slight gap here, so we've got room to dip. Now if it doesn't dip down, we might have a push down because it's a swing day, so we have to be careful as to where we are at the trading hours. If we are at the tops at trading hours, selling is logical because it's a swing day and we're at the highs here. Okay, but as you know me, I don't like to go against a PST, so maybe wait and see what happens. If we have a breakout to the upside, okay, let's say we had a breakout to the upside, when the market pulls back into a trading hour, you can still go in. Okay, so you can wait and see what happens and then trade accordingly. Okay, now today we're going to have some pushy moves, and that's going to come in the evening. So towards the evening, actually my time evening, around 9 o'clock, might have some pushiness. So the market can push. okay, and it can kind of like push all day. So read the comments nicely to make sure that you know, if there is a turn, great. If there isn't a turn, then you might get stopped out if you've got it wrong. So make sure your money management is in place. Okay, that's that. Euro dollar. Now it's a new month. Here we are. Breakout, nice and easy. Targeting on the monthly 65, 1522. Okay, that's obviously up there. Let's do it, 1522 on the monthly. All right, so on the weekly, that's LCL1, right? That's 1972, so we'll keep that off the radar for a moment. Okay, but 1522 is in that zone, so going back up here and having a sell-off again is logical. Okay, so retesting that is fine. On the daily, we've got a zone 60 and 62, 1431.70. 1470, 1431. Okay, and that's it. So on the pullback, it's a daily at 47.12.30. That's your 12.30. On the weekly, do I have a pullback zone? 57. That's 1173. Do I want to put 1173? Let's do it, because if things go down, then I know what to target. All right, so this is how it is for the monthly and the weekly for us, and the daily. Okay, now this is a good impulse wave up, so we'd like to follow that up. Okay, we've done a 61. If this snakes along, right, we're either going to go hit up and break out or down. If we come down into here, right, the weekly and the low of the previous day, or this zone at a trading hour, I don't mind going up to there and we can target it. Okay, I don't mind doing that, and that's fine. If on the swing day, when that comes, we're at the highs, we're either going to be at a target where we want to sell off, okay, we want to be somewhere we want to buy. Okay, so you know, that's how it is. But I don't mind following this impulse wave to the upside. If the market does come to the 50.37.5, it's logical, because that's the cause. All right, if we come down here, okay, this is the cause, so I like this. Okay, and gap fill. So anyway, you know, if we pull back, going up is okay. If it doesn't pull back and it keeps pushing up, you know, we're going for a place where the market want to sell down. All right, so let's refresh that. Let's take a look at SP 500. So it's a new month, SP 500, nice and easy. We've got a bit of room to pull back. Okay, on the weekly, oh nice, 57.5962. I don't mind selling 5962. If we come up, we can sell. Okay, now today on the SP 500, we don't have a swing day, but if we keep pushing down, it'll go down to a swing day, probably, highly likely. So thus henceforth, we can do that. Yeah, and remember last week we had this for a swing day. The market did a stop sweep, but it closed lower. So pushing down is good. Into where? 48 on the daily, 5806. So you can target that on the sell side, 5806. And if it gets there, obviously it'll probably close at those levels there. Then I also like these hours in the Yeah, 230. I like these hours too. All right, so what are the good hours? Well, 7 wasn't a bad hour. 8:05, 8:10. It's not a bad hour. So market, phew, yeah, we might catch a move after 8:40. All right, I'll tell you what. When you open the video, if you still have this 9:30 zone here, if we're at the tops here, okay, like in where it is right now, right, this zone between the closing and where we're at now, and you want to sell it down, you can. And that should take us to 1 o'clock. Okay, now here, because we're either going to go up or down, but probably into that hour, all right, then this zone is going to be good to trade. 1 o'clock is good to trade. 3:45, I like it. Okay. 5:30, I like it. All right, so this zone is good. Now, 5:30 to 5:45, let's say, because this is going to be sexy. All right. And here we might have a surprise move. And if we have a surprise move around here, it's going to be pushy. All right. So if it finds direction at this hour, then we should go all the way into closing. So that will be a good intraday trading period for anything you're trading. Okay. The hours are for everything, remember. Okay. That's that. Let's take a look at Dow. Now, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, as you know, SP 500, they're pretty much going together. So, what are we going to do? New month, okay, down, up, retest, close gap, sell off, not a bad idea. Breakout, ooh. Let's take a look at the weekly. If we go back up into 54, 42, 8, 2, 4, 7, 10. 42, 8, 2, 4, 7, 10 is there. If we get back up there, you can sell it off. Okay, if it's a swing day and we're up here somewhere, that'd be nice to sell off. Okay, on the weekly, to go where? Down into 45, 43, which is 40,133 to 631. 4631. Well, that's quite a fair bit down. So I'm just going to do that. But that's fine. I don't mind doing that. Now, oh, nice. Okay, so having a breakdown at 54, 42,071, 42,000. 42,071. I like it. Okay, so this thing breaking down is good for us. Okay, in New York, will it come back? I don't know, but this zone is good to sell. I like it. Okay, so this zone underneath the daily, the weekly, the closing of Friday. So this zone is like, I like it. If in London or New York, the market sells off, sells a high, you know, all that kind of stuff, selling at decent levels, at trading hours, I'm okay to do so. All right, if I just do this here, this is a close gap zone. This is why I've marked it in. Let me just refresh because that green should not be there. There we go. Okay, so if we do like a stop sweep and come back in midweek, then that's like also good. All right, so On a swing day, if we're up here doing a stop sweep, coming back down quickly, selling, I think, is the way to go. Okay. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ monthly. So we're bound to sell off somewhere. Okay, look, this is the PST, right? If you use the techniques I'm showing you on your PST as well, all right, you can also sell off at levels where we touch to a Fibonacci retracement. So that's on a monthly. Do the same thing on a weekly, daily, all right? Now this zone is good to sell. Okay, I don't mind selling off here. It's not a swing day, but at a swing day you can. What can happen here is this. You know, I like the snake movement. So if we come back up again, so let me tighten this up. This is the same thing for Dow and SP 500. So we're going to be smart about it. Okay. Okay. So if I tighten this up a little bit, if we find ourselves snaking along, okay, on the swing day, we want to nail it from the highs at trade hours if we're there. So if we're at the highs at trading hours, we want to nail it on a swing day. I hope that makes sense. Okay, just, yeah, that's the way to do it. Okay, same thing for all of them. I'm just going to put this back into a 1 hour chart so we can get rid of all these lines. Okay, and then put it into a 15-minute chart. Then we'll see how things pan out. All right. And then let's do scale fix. Take us to the end. There we go. Where are we? Tighten this up a little bit. We're at 21,000, so we have to go up. There we go. Here we are. All right, so the market going up somewhere into a swing day is going to be the time when we sell, and that should be up there or there, okay? Here or here, because that's where they sold heavy. Remember, we want to look for the cause, and the cause is where the big move started. Heavy selling, heavy buying. All right. So going up into a place on a swing day, this is why I like the snake movement. If it turns into like a snake, like that, so we want to be like on the upside pushing down, okay? And that's how it is. Now, if the market doesn't go up, it doesn't snake, but it keeps pushing down, then you know your swing day is going to be a buy zone, right? So your daily support 55, 53 is 21,000 and 2878. Okay. 21,000, 2878. Which is there. 2878 is going to be there. All right, so that's the zone. That's from yesterday, so today is there. Okay. That's how it is. On the weekly, we've got room on both sides, but like I said, this zone for me is a sell zone. All right, and we've closed gap, as you can see. and it's all good. On a swing day, if we're at the highs, sell it off at the trading hours. The same goes for Dow, SP 500. Bitcoin, let's take a look. Now, Bitcoin looks like it's going to be a busy week, but last week, if you recall, I just kept on saying, guys, I would be selling the highs, okay? I'm not a buyer at these levels because it's too expensive, okay? And if you followed that advice, that's the swing day Thursday. All right, market going up and then boom, selling off. All right, now we're in between levels. On the daily, 53, support 41, 103,492, 106,340. That's the first support. 106, what was it, 360? Something like that. 53, 106, 340. All right, 106, 340 is pretty much your weekly pivot. All right, so we're in between levels, as you can see. So selling the high to push down, I'm okay with. Okay, impulse wave market coming up 106,560 is a gap fill. So this is going to be a zone for you, all right? So, you know, if it's at the right time at the right price, you can sell, okay? Also, if you take a look, they've sold nice and neat. Okay, other than just a small gap here, it's all tight and done. Okay, so going back up to sell, I think is a way to go on this one. On the weekly, that's 71. It's way up there, 114. Okay, but I'd say I would be a seller here. Okay, this is a stop sweep. Market hasn't closed above the high, closed lower. I'd sell off. Okay, and that would be it. Let's get rid of that. This is the zone. Once we start breaking down, as you know, we should come into this zone again. Okay, back into the 70s. Will it do it? Well, you know, we don't know if it'll do it or not. But on the daily, these are the targets. Okay, the green boxes, the white lines here, and the PST pricing. Just note of the PST pricing: 97,626, 93,630, 94,570. Okay, these are like levels we can mark in. So that's a zone for us. Okay, and that's how it is. So this is a bit of a sandwich zone, but impulse wave, pull up, sell off is what I'd prefer to do on this one. Okay, like I said, we've got a few days on this one, so you know we could be hanging around here a little bit and then going down. So that if that does happen, be mindful, cause it'll be impulse flag formation coming up a little bit and then selling off. That's also a possibility. Okay, impulse flag, you can see here, selling off. So it could be a little choppy here on those 3 days, but if you're at the right price at the right time, I don't mind selling that off. Okay, you can also do a 1 hour chart here on your smaller time frame if you like. Then what you'll see, get an impulse down. Okay, from there to there, and your 37.5 is that zone. Okay, so you know, bring it up here and then selling off again, and that'll be the place where the market had the support. That's turning into a resistance at 37.5, exact there. Okay, so this zone is like good to sell if the time is right. Okay, have a good day. If you have any questions, dramas, shoot them through. I'm more than happy to help.